Like Eliza, how? Like how, Eliza? We are back. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Avalde. Thank you very much for always tuning into this program wherever you are. And we are back. And Julde is here. Good morning, Julde.
Good morning.
Long time.
Yes.
How have you been?
I've been great. Just running around, have a lot of activities. But yeah, Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. And I miss everyone here except Eliza.
Mr. Moitai, hala na nga naman Baghdad fight. Because kawa si camouflage yung magis. Muso magis camouflage socks.
Anak ning ko gis ci man.
Hey, Mr. Moy.
Mo de def lu nekk.
Yo Baghdad.
Di ba xam nga sila la doon vibe. He was vibe on Lee. Naka lañ ko de waxe sa that song.
Ban song waxal.
That song la doon vibe. Binta something la that artist. I was like, Mr. Mo, chana yo tamit
Nah, that vibe. Mom ki mo neka Broke moy best artist.
I like Broke as well.
Mu ne xanaa xamuloo ñun suñ jamono time.
Attack. Maa ngi like
Attack. Borom dëkk bi.
Waaw muy borom dëkk bi.
Waaw. Dafa dangaw. Yes.
Waaw that ku dee wax ne su neexee xaw ma su jeexee jeex na. I don't know who the artist
That
is.
one. Malako.
Yeah. So Mr. Moy, what's up? What's going on? Naka suba si.
Alhamdulillah, boy.
So lo neka.
Can't you see my mood?
No, I can see.
Absolutely.
He's in a very good mood.
Absolutely positive
You're in the
vibes.
mood.
Yeah, it's a vibe thing, isn't it?
Waa lu ko waral doo ñu su cabaxal tuuti.
No. You're too young
To know.
to know.
Why Julde mag la di, Mr. Mboy?
Oh, please.
You cannot tell Julde.
A big boo.
Julde is too young. Xale dafay weesu xale na.
Waaw we are not too young to
Waaw,
lead. We are not too young to know.
Okay.
Loolu mooy suñ slogan bi ñu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at the African Code, then the newspaper review, and the Banjul Film Festival will also be in the studios, and we'll be discussing about the coming festival. And we'll also be talking to Mustafa Salah of TUMA, Deputy Media and Communication Officer TUMA, and celebrating mentorship this December. So this is what they do, and they are graduating some, mentees. So it will be important for us to engage them as to why they started this academy and how far have they gone. Yeah, so this is our program lineup for today, Julde.
It's an important and interesting program. I'll be particularly interested about the Banjul Film Festival. We know Koros Film Festival, but not Banjul Film Festival. So it will be interesting to know what it's all about and whether it will continue, because sustainability, we know, has been a challenge, for
I'm a
us.
film person.
Yeah. I've been following films, I do a lot of stories on Koros Film Festival, Babokar, and, Anna, so yeah.
Tell me the last film you watched.
Yeah, I watch a lot of films.
Tell me the last
No,
one.
I won't tell you, but I watch a lot of films. I do. I won't be able to pinpoint
Well, you do watch
be,
films.
but I know I watch a lot of films.
Okay.
Yes.
What about you, Bala?
Yes, I am a film person. I watch more documentaries. I mean, I even last night I watched, a lot of documentaries. Before I go to bed, I watch it, the FBI files.
Yes.
You love that.
I knew that you were going to say that.
I
How
like
did
that,
I know that?
Yeah,
So
but it's good.
Yeah, I
It's a
enjoy
good
that
one.
a lot. I enjoy that a lot. Now I've almost exhausted all their files. Now I am moving to a new one, the forensic files. You
The
understand?
forensic files.
It's more of FBI files, but a bit different. But the same narrator, Peter Thomas rather, is the narrator. But I enjoy it a lot. So that is what it is. Even if I sit at the house and I just take the remote, my kids will be like FBI files. Yeah.
That's interesting. So our African proverb this morning, it's all the way from Zambia.
Lusaka.
Madame China, small here Zambia, like Gambia, not Gambia, not Zambia, it's Gambia. There is Zambia and there is Gambia.
Zambia. I have a friend in Zambia.
Yeah, so when the sun shines, get firewood for the night. When the sun shines, get firewood for the night.
Shines.
It's like make hay while the sun shines.
Shines. Something like that.
Okay, preparation.
Sounds like
Absolutely. When the
or
going is good.
preparedness.
Preparedness. When the going is good,
prepare for...
Absolutely.
you know,
Cushion
yes.
for uncertainties in the
Yes.
future, for harder times in the future. Stuff like that, yes.
Yeah. I mean, such is life. It's not always rosy. It's not always good, you know. Sometimes it comes with challenges, and that is life. That is normal. But again, when you're so happy, Motahits in Islam, they preach, when you're so happy, you know, put at the back of your mind that you will be sad.
Yeah.
When you're sad also, don't just think that that is the end of the world. You know, just know that, you know, it will phase out. Dina pass it, dina jala, you know, put it at the back so that when you're making decisions, you're rational about them. You're not just making decisions because you believe it's the end of the, like, you're not just living in the moment. So when you do that, you tend to, the chances of you making mistakes is very high, because then you're clouded by, you know, emotions and all that. So you're not thinking rationally and all of, so I think it's important. This is very important. Preparations, when you're, whatever situation you're in, just know that that is not constant. You know, it will pass.
Especially
And then
with
when
good
it pass,
fortune.
exactly.
As it were, when the sun shines, good fortune,
Right.
prepare for
Exactly.
you know, the night,
Yeah.
as it were.
Exactly. That's important.
Yeah,
So
preparation, it's telling you of preparations, you know, early intervention, you know, before, you know, I mean, disaster comes. I mean, so it's more of preparing yourself, putting the right thing at the right place to make sure, I mean, you get a positive result at the end. So it's more of preparation. That's how I see it.
It is. It is. I mean, preparation is very important in whatever you do in life. You know, in order to succeed, you know, whatever it is, you have to prepare well for it.
And having foresight.
Yes.
I think foresight really goes to the very heart of this proverb.
That's
really.
right.
Yes, just imagine that it's not going to be always good. Life is rarely like that, or never like that. So you have the swings, as it were, goes up and down, you know, the ebb and flow of life, you know, fortune and the way it is like. So that's it. It's just that with these things, they're easier said than done, as it were.
That's right. I mean,
Yeah, it's a matter of character. You know, so much really goes into it. That is why you see some people, they're really good at stuff like that, planning, saving up for a rainy day.
Yes.
I think that's another phrase, that's another proverb you can use. And for some reason, other people are just terrible at it. When they have whatever, immediately they check it all. And then when the hard times come,
then they realize that they
that's
messed up big time.
You know, as they say, when you really shouldn't do it, when you don't need to, then afterwards, when you actually need to do it, you wouldn't have it.
That's right.
It's extraordinary. You
It
wouldn't
is.
have it. Yep. So, yep. We all know it. It's just a matter of knowing it and doing it.
Doing it.
That's the difference, you know, between people. The doers, those who can do.
Yeah, so...
What are you, Balde? Are you a doer?
Well,
or a talker?
Sometimes I procrastinate, sometimes I do. I mean, it's a balance of these things. You know, it is what it is. So we'll take a short break. After the break, then the program continue. We'll be back. Gilabila radiyallahu anha wadi noddingol folongol e Islam. Noddingol tawa e diine men on. Julbe ben noddinte ɗoye ɓe yahude ɓe juula. Enen fof daroɗen dula goto. Si tawi ka jogiɗo ma ala. Fof juula laaɓi 5 e ñallal ngal. Aji Bank Limited no welti fi tawede laaɓi 3 oɗo agent competition fi ɓe dépensamo ɓe ɓeydanamo doole. ɗum ɗo ko fi tun hoolagol ko wonɗen kon ha para yiɗa daro fonka ko annduɗa ɗum ɗon woni ko hawti en kon ɗum woni hoolagol ha para noon kadi noddingol fi juulen awa tawe ɗum ɗo joni an kadi ɓeydita hen e sengo ko annduɗa ko ɗum woni noddingol waɗu vidéo joni nulda e WhatsApp hara hiɗa noddina e oɗon number 3373555 ɗo e balɗe 31 lewru décembre 2025 meɗen jogui yimɓe ɓe annduɗa hiɓe jogui gandal ko kamɓe darata te noon kadi min noddoya on ɗo ka QTV fi wawa yiide poɗodiron e ko ɓura andirede e final on fi wawa on yiide on gagnike te noon ɓe jonniray ko anduɗa ko ɗum woni certificate ji mbuuɗi kañum kadi e piiji boyi 2026 national exam competition ko Ajib Bank dépensi ɗum. Ajib Bank yo investment partner.
حي على الصلاة.
Yes, we are back. This is QTV This Morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. Now let's move on to some of the stories on the papers. Julde, I think you'll take us through the stories.
Yes, we have Standard, Point and Foroya newspapers. And on the Standard, like always, I always start with the Standard. Jawara's nephew advises Barrow to step aside, protect his legacy.
Okay. What does that tell us? I do not know.
What does it mean
You
to
know
protect
what
his
I mean?
legacy?
No, first, Jawara's nephew, whoever is talking, we do not know the person's name.
Yeah.
Where does your authority stem from? I mean, yes, ordinary citizen, anybody can say things.
Yes.
But what does sort of being Jawara's nephew, what does it add to it? You know what I mean?
Probably it's...
Who is this person?
It's
You
the
know what I mean?
newspaper, maybe it's the newspaper way
Yeah,
of
it's a
selling.
you know newspapers what
Yeah.
they are like.
Yeah, sometimes they do this to sell, I mean, their
Nephew.
copies.
But sell to whom? Because when I read something like that, I'll be like, come on, don't be silly. Maybe if this person has achieved so much, you know, he's got some kind of authority to make certain pronouncements on things. Granted, you know what I mean?
Maybe.
But again...
Because he is Jawara's nephew.
But what does
But
that mean?
Jawara also spent like stayed for 30 years.
You know,
does that
Sadauda
mean?
Kairaba Jawara is a statesman. I mean,
Absolutely, but does it make the nephew a
respected.
statesman? Doesn't make the nephew anything. It just depends on what the nephew is doing, surely. Or
And
what the nephew
stepping
has
aside
done.
based on what? I mean, I think we need to go to in detail into the story in order to know what he really meant by step aside to protect his legacy.
I think maybe not to contest 2026. I think we can extrapolate something like that to protect your legacy.
I think
But why? Like, why? What is the basis of that? Stepping aside to protect his legacy. I mean, does it mean that if he stays for 3 years, another 5
Term.
years or another time, he's going to, what is wrong with his legacy? Or what has he done to warrant that? I mean, I think it's important for us to go into details to know what he really meant, you know.
Yes, but you can get the gist. I suspect that I can get the gist of where this person is heading, because everybody's been talking about, even, was it yesterday, we had Dr. Cisse, and then we were talking about the third term. I think essentially that's what we're all talking about. Some people are saying that he shouldn't go for a third term, because now really the trend, or at least what we want to establish, the standard we want to establish is for all presidents in Africa, really. AU, I think, wants it, ECOWAS wants it. It's just any president, 2 terms, isn't it? Then you move on. But with us, our constitution doesn't have any provision like that. So legally, that sort of talk doesn't really exist. I tried to put it to the minister. I said, but what about really morally?
Yeah.
We know that, well, at least the aspiration is that for presidents to have just 2 terms.
Yeah.
So why not, he's got his 2 terms, why not he just steps down, you know, out of moral consideration or whatever. But he said, obviously, this is Barrow's choice. Nobody can make him do it.
Probably this is a response to yesterday's paper, when Barrow said people should, you know, stop talking about his third term bid. I mean, probably that's the response there. But the thing is, as far as the Constitution allow Barrow to run for more than 100 times, I mean, it's his choice. I mean, for him to be stepping aside for not contesting again, it's still his choice, I mean, to make. Yesterday, the minister said it here. It's a matter of choice and constitution.
Yeah, it's choice.
So,
after all, I think for me, I don't think this debate was necessary in the first place. Okay, Gambians elected Barrow into office, you know, for the second time. If they want him out, all they have to do
Vote
is
him
go
out.
to the ballot box and
Vote him
vote
out.
him out.
Simple.
It's as simple as
Yeah,
that. Whether Barrow wants to be there
Or
for a
not.
10th term,
Yes.
it is left to the Gambians to decide whether they want him to be there or
Mr.
not.
Mboj.
But do you believe in term limits?
I do believe in term limits.
Okay.
I believe in term
Yeah,
limits.
term limits.
Honestly, because I feel
Well,
like
I don't
okay,
know. I don't
mean,
know.
with all that,
I don't know. For
Yes,
me,
I guess I don't.
For me, I depend. It
I
depends.
believe in term
If-
limits. You know the reason why I believe in term limits? We've seen that, a classical example of that. For example, in the Gambia, Jawara stayed for 30 years. Jammeh stayed for 22 years. Who knows how long Barrow is going to stay? And not just that, look at all the coups that are happening. A lot of people, experts, are attributing that to, you know, overstaying. We see like a swatch in coup d'etats in West Africa of recent.
But
We've
here I
seen
think
that.
we are confusing a few things here. When I take, for instance, Jawara's 30 years and stuff like that, I haven't heard anybody say that he rigged elections. Yeah? So it is people's choice. If I want to vote for you 10 times, I should be able to do so. The problem is, when we try to rig the constitution, some people will say that Alassane Ouattara just had his inauguration, all these presidents, our president was there,
Yeah.
but that was really a constitutional coup. He had to change the constitution
And we've seen
so
a
that
lot
he
of
can
that.
run again. I think
Even
that's
in
really
Guinea,
the
that
issue.
happens.
That's it.
We've
Stuff
seen
like
a
that.
lot of constitutional coup
Alpha
d'etats.
Condé, absolutely.
Yes.
So this is really what the issue is. People trying to rig the system to perpetuate themselves in power. That's really where the issue is. But where we have free and fair elections, I think
Yeah.
that's what we should be fighting for.
Exactly.
I just want free and fair elections. If people want to vote for you 10 times, it's their choice.
Choice, yeah.
This is it. So I just don't want the law to limit me and say only 2 terms.
Well,
I don't like
well,
terms.
well,
The reason
I don't
why
like terms.
I want to
Yeah.
believe that is because we've seen all the allegations of, you know, corruption, mismanagement of public funds, and sometimes even human rights abuses. When you overstay, the tendency of you know, lavishing public funds is very high.
I'm not
We've
sure
seen
about that. Jawara was here for 30 years. Nobody said that he ever lavished public funds. So it doesn't
There was a
necessarily...
commission.
But they
though,
were
Mr.
accused
What
of
are you
corruption.
talking about?
It doesn't-
There was
but
a
again,
commission.
you remember
When,
the
in
Al-Ghali
fact,
Commission?
The coup was done
Al-Ghali.
The
because
Al-Khali Commission.
Al-Ghali.
Al-Ghali.
Al-Ghali,
Yeah,
yeah.
what did he
in
find?
fact,
Well, I
The
mean,
coup was
it's
done.
looking into the corruption during Jawara's time.
What did he find? Tell me what were his findings.
Well, I mean, Mr. Mboj, I mean, you cannot deny that they've been accused of corruption.
No, I'm
Jawara's
not talking
time.
about they. I was talking about Jawara.
Well,
we have
not-
a whole system.
Not Jawara per se.
No, calm down. We have a whole system. Yes, you were about to say that when the coup makers came in, they said rampant corruption and all the rest of it. But when you look at the facts, yes, what did they do afterwards? When Bibi Dabo came back
yes.
and they wanted to reassure the whole world, oh, don't worry, we've got enough reserves, we've got enough this, there's no need, as it were, for anybody to panic. Jawara said in his book, if the government had been rampantly corrupt, where did you get those reserves? He just left it at that. So let us be honest. Yes, we know, because we have a system that sees the state as a kind of cash cow.
Well, you know, when the junta took
This is
over,
a cultural
when they
issue.
took over,
That's what we
Money-making.
have.
you know, when the
Money
junta
making
took over in
adventure.
1994, I mean, that was their way of, I mean, telling people how corrupt Jawara's government was. In fact, Jawara wasn't mentioned. Most of the time, they mentioned his ministers who were corrupt.
No,
you
actually,
know.
they did in the
Yeah,
beginning. How
yeah.
old were you in 1994?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they
I was
mention
much
him, they
younger,
mention-
but I can still remember what happened. I was there when the coup occurred. I was there. You know, I can still.
Can you remember his first broadcast?
Xam nga mu
Well,
ñoo
those
jaay
I
ne
cannot
ñu
remember
ñeexuñ
that.
fi woon.
You know, why
But we read about it.
Why mangi tuti one? Why dama dey remember it? I still recall certain things. I mean, it's not that I was very, very young too, that I cannot remember. So corruption is part of it. For me, the issue of term limit is there can be term limits. You understand? Sometimes term limits can usher out presidents who were doing very well too. You understand? And bring in someone whom you know it's going to change the whole system and corrupt the whole system again. So if a president is doing well, sometimes term limits, you can try and reconsider that. For me, I am not into term limits that much. I don't know.
Mom, I'm
For
into
some reason.
100%
So
term
you're
limits.
just halfway.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
100%
If the system is
into
working,
term limits.
I know.
And I
I
want to
don't need it.
believe that I think we need more strong institutions. I think that's the problem we are having.
That's it.
Let's
But
be
not
honest.
but not terms.
Even
If
term
you have-
limits,
if you
even
have-
terms, we've seen what is happening around West Africa, Istanbul, even term limits, it's important.
It's only America, really, and other countries that followed it, that's got term limits. Go to Europe, none of their political leaders, there's no term limits.
Because they have strong institutions.
That is
It
it.
doesn't matter how long you're there, but there are checks and balances in the state where, you know, everyone is held accountable. But here, who is held accountable? Accountability is a problem.
So do you
that
think-
is why we need term limits
So you think term limits would do away with corruption?
to some extent.
How?
I mean, for instance, if you stay for 5 years, you can't compare 5 years and 10 years.
Oh, so it's damage limitation.
That's
So
what
with
I'm
this
saying.
person, we'll give you 5 or 10 years to steal as much as you can. Because it's got nothing to do with that. Then afterwards, somebody else will come and he will do his bit. You haven't really touched the heart of our problem at all. All you've done is just limit the window I've got for me to steal as much as I can. Term limits
That-
got nothing to
That
do
is
with
why
fighting
I
corruption.
mentioned the
Absolutely
issue of strong
nothing.
institutions.
That's a different issue.
Institutional, you know, capacity, building the capacities of, you know, our people, our ministers, our technocrats, you know, ensure that the judiciary is there, you know, it is effective. And we've seen that to some extent. They're doing a lot, you know, as far as that is concerned. You know, the National Assembly plays their oversight role. You know, that those checks and balances, it needs to be there for us to move forward.
You see, yeah, big time. Of course, you've touched ministers and all of that. For me, government can take care of itself. The institutions of state, do you know when we'll really know that we've got strong institutions? Imagine, for instance, the police force, yeah? And then a minister, you see, the president wouldn't be able to direct what I do operationally. If a minister or whoever, I as the IG of police, you call me to ask me something that I shouldn't do, I'll be breaking the laws, I'll say no. Sack me or I'll resign.
Yeah.
Until we can do that in these important institutions of state, imagine the National Audit Office. That is just so important. Unless people who man these institutions stick to their responsibilities, really, and say that I am not going to be corrupted by political actors, these political actors. When you ask me to do something that I shouldn't do, I'll say no. But how do you do that? This person in all likelihood probably will appoint you, or perhaps will find a way of sacking you. So we depend so much on these appointments, be it the executive or anybody else, then I'll do your bidding. This is really, we are in a bind. This is a really difficult issue we are faced with.
To try and solve that would be a very complex, equation to solve.
Why not security of tenure in certain key positions? I think we want to do that with the National Audit Office. And recently we've seen what's been going on between the former Auditor General and the government, what's been happening there. There are certain appointments, the IEC as well. Only Parliament should be able to do that. To appoint you and to sack you, the executive should have no hand in that. See, these are perhaps some of the ways that could help.
Yeah.
You see, to protect them, their security of tenure, then perhaps then they'll have the courage to call the tough decisions. But if you rely on executive on many appointments,
that's
then
the
you
problem.
feel your loyalty to the executive,
So
not the country.
let's move on. I've mentioned the issue of people who think politics is a business venture at the end of the time. Probably when you get to a certain age, you just want to venture into politics, probably you might get your pay at the end of the time. Let's take a look at the former Vice President, Aissatou, is it Tambajang? I mean, our former Vice President. I mean, I have watched a video, Fatoumata Tambajang rather. She said she's now interested to go in for office. She was part of the people that built the coalition. So now she is interested to go in for presidency. After the presidency changed the term, the age limits in the constitution so that she can fit in office as the vice president. So,
Okay. So now what? Want to go into politics and contest? Fine. It's an open field. It's a democracy. What are you waiting for? Let us all go in for it. It's just that it's very interesting here. A good number of ministers or politicians and that sort of thing, they never, for instance, want to be members of parliament. They never really contest elections. How many of our ministers really contested elections? Virtually none. These are what we call political walkers. True politicians who run for office. So it's a very interesting one. So you've got all of these politicians, they've never contested elections at all. And that's a good test. There was a time when, before you could become a minister, you have to be a member of parliament. Very much like the British system. Still, in the British system, you can never be a minister without being a member of parliament. We used to have that, but not anymore. So we've got this disconnect. So we're bringing in all these people, making them ministers, and then putting these tags on them, technocrats, oh please. It's a political appointment. Forget all that technocratic balderdash they keep telling us.
Yeah.
So this is it. Nobody runs for office.
So let's deal with the final story before we close this segment. I mean,
we have NAM's call for Ghana Town residents to be granted nationality.
Let them pass the law.
Yes, I mean, it's their responsibility after all.
Because right now, as far as I'm aware, one of your parents must be Gambian.
Yes.
Isn't it? So let's just follow the law. If they want to amend anything, or yes, they can. They can. If you want to amend the law to make them.
I think Gambia, we have a law that
fine.
we should definitely look at. I mean, when your parents are from Guinea, or they are from Casamance, or they are from another part of the world, when you are here by birth, you know, I mean, nationality, your parents are not Gambians. But when you are born, brought up here, you've schooled here, you should be Gambian, my friend.
I disagree. I disagree.
You should be Gambian, my friend. If you are born in the U.S., you are a U.S. citizen.
When Trump is done with you, when your parents are not from there, I mean, look at around the world. Just look at the rules around the world, around citizenship. It just can't be that easy, even though I know that with the new constitution, the proposed constitution, they just want to make it, if you're born here, then you become a Gambian. Fine, you know, we can do that. But right now, the law is at least one of your parents. We can say that maybe people in Ghana Town, the people affected by this, let's say it's a special case.
I mean,
Perhaps the president, you know, maybe there's a law there, the president might have certain executive powers, perhaps to grant them citizenship. I do not know.
Yeah.
So, yes, if that is the case, one accepts. This is maybe a special case given the history and stuff like that. But more generally, let us be careful about giving this citizenship or that, because you don't want to cause future social unrest. Let us be careful with that. We've had so many times politicians will take certain decisions not knowing the far-reaching consequences of it in the future. You know, so one must be really careful. But again, nowhere in the world they're just so easy. It was America used to have that. When you're born there, then you automatically become a citizen. The way Trump is going, I'm not so sure. We'll probably start asking sooner or later, oh, your parents this or your parent that. Even they are sort of changing. We are in the world now of these sort of nationalisms coming back, really. populist nationalisms. These things are coming back.
Right.
So we should be careful about citizenship, really. Though I sympathize with the Ghana Town issue, really. If they need a special amendment, well,
So
fine.
if they were to return to Ghana and at the same time the Ghanaian government refused to accept them, what citizens are they?
Think they will, because Ghana has this this initiative where they welcome people of African descent, to come back.
The diaspora
people and all that. So I don't think they would. But again, the issue is they've been here for decades. Some of them got married, have kids here, grown up. Some of them died
Contributing to
here.
national development.
Build own businesses, contributing a lot to Gambia's economy. So for me, the constitution is very clear. It's by birth, marriage, descent, or naturalization. So either way, I think there is a possibility for them to acquire citizenship because they've been here for so long. So like you mentioned, it's the political will. It's a complex matter because it has to do with citizenship. And we've seen the crisis that is going around citizenship all over the world. But again, I think their matter should be taken care of as a matter of urgency, and the National Assembly should act because it is their responsibility after all.
Well, it seems like they're about to act.
Exactly. Because yesterday the matter was raised. I want to believe because I saw it in the ordinary the paper of the National Assembly. So it was raised, and I think that is where some of these National Assembly members actually raised the issue of citizenship as far as the Ghana Town residents are concerned. But yeah, let us just wait and see.
That's it. But what's going to be and the groups that are going to be affected? Because
Yes.
I know a lot of people, I know a few at least, you'll have a Ghanaian father but a Gambian mother. It wouldn't affect those because they qualify by virtue of the
Yes,
mother,
yeah.
as it were. So we'll see how many would be affected by this
Yes.
and from what period would be covered. So there's a lot of details that
Yes,
we need to know.
that's
about
right.
this.
Thank you, Mr. Mboj, for reviewing the stories with us. At this point, we'll take a short break. After the break, we'll discuss the Banjul Film Festival. We'll be back.
Network koto mi yalonko wole warta nyimbanko kan adung adabe soniaring wala nyama. Imuna fang telefono la mi yalonko abe seniaring adung internet wobe tariaring. Nyindung kiusel dorna sinyin nati aleno. Ibori yela kiusel line ota. Customer care mi suti atima. Bi. Kiusel network ko mi warta network ko beti adung adabe soniaring. Kiusel sunu boss. Ndolla nga silo walang dulia bulan noma.
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia, now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Bokal si network bu gëna rëy gëna yombale si réewi Gambia bi fii jëfandikool kool bu set internet bu gaaw li yëpp si njëg bu yomba fii si QCell dawal léegi si suñ customer care bu la gëna jege ñu may la QCell line te doo si fay dara QCell network bu gëna rëy te it gëna yombale si réew mi fii QCell suñu bas ñoo xaali yoon bi ñeneen toppa.
These tracks have become my wall, my arena of victory and fear. I relentlessly walk, push, strain, and stretched. Moments when every fiber of my being screams, give up. But the fire within me won't let me quit. Despite the burning muscles, in this sport, every moment matters. Every second counts. My failures, my dreams, my pain, my triumphs, they propel me forward beyond all limits. I'm Gina Mariam Basbite. And this is Sunyu Bus.
You're watching QTV This Morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. Now let's head to the other segment of this program, and we have the Banjul Film Festival team in the studios with us already. Gentlemen, it's good to have you here, finally. We've been trying to do this last week, but it couldn't due to, timing, so it's good to have you, Pa.
Yes, thank you so very much. It is an absolute great pleasure and honor to be here. I know QTV is my place.
Oh, this is your home?
Yes, because I was here when I was launching my film, Family Dispute. I think it was in 2021.
Okay.
And it is a great pleasure and honor to be here again.
Yes. So we have our
Mr.
able
Basis.
colleague as well. It's good to have you.
It's been taken by Majak now, full time.
You see?
Sang mo ko yubu.
Yeah, good morning everyone watching wherever you are, and thank you for your participation. I'm glad to be back here. I think I came here a month ago or so.
Oh yeah, you were here?
Yeah.
And you missed coming on our newspaper review, why?
Julda will tell you it's not easy working at Majak. So
oh yeah, so it's that stuff? I didn't think it was tough.
So I have my training role, I have my administrative role, and
then
I also have a family role that I play.
A lot of things. So you have to leave us. I mean, you don't have to leave us.
So maybe we can have a better schedule somehow.
Yes.
Yes. So let's start with you. Please tell us what the Banjul Film Festival is all about.
Yeah, so thank you so very much. The Banjul Film Festival is an initiative done by Gambians, and we want to contribute to the social economic development of this country. And also we want to make sure that young people are given the platform to showcase their talent. So we thought about it, and we have seen other countries doing big film festivals, in fact international film festivals, inviting people across the country, across the region, across the world, coming and gracing their occasions, and as well contributing to their national development. So we thought it wise that, yes, why not in Gambia we have such an initiative? Although we have been seeing some small film festivals, but we believe that the Banjul Film Festival is here to make it big. It's here to attract a lot of tourism. It's here to build the skills of young Gambians who are interested in filmmaking. So that is why we said, okay, now let's come together and see how best we can do this. And now I can tell you that the idea has been welcomed by many. And we have, in fact, spoke to Banjul City Council, the mayor, who is very supportive, and she welcomed the idea as well. And also we are partnering with, KMC as well. They help us in terms of getting us the Westfield Monument, where we'll be having some of our activities as well. So this is something that is very important, and I believe that Gambians should support this initiative to make sure that at least we have something concrete. What we intend to do is that now is only national, but in the future we believe that we can do it international, whereas we can invite other filmmakers across the regions to come and, play their part.
Then it will be Banjul International
Yes,
Festival.
Film Festival, exactly. Yeah. So, but for now, this is the first edition, so we'll see how it works. Yeah.
So, what does it take to host such an important festival? And do we have what it takes as a country to host a festival? We know that we don't even have what like the Gammo, the Hollywood, the Nollywoods and all of that. Our film industry is not that compared to our counterparts in the sub-region.
Yes, so it is actually not easy. It's not an easy work. And when we were planning this, we know very well that it's not going to be an easy thing. Because one thing is that Gambia does not have a cinema hall whereas people can just come and watch Gambian films, maybe every weekend or so. It does not. Maybe QCity have been doing some screenings, movie nights. So that is commendable, applaudable. So actually, and also the commitment lags. People don't support Gambian films. It's very difficult for companies, individuals, even government to support Gambian filmmakers. And as well, you find it very difficult for Gambians to watch Gambian films. And this is something that, the film industry, the Banjul Film Festival want to, eradicate. We want to make sure that we have an open day national film screening day, whereas people can come and watch Gambian film. It's free entrance. Come. Maybe some people believe that Gambians don't have the skills, don't have the quality films. They cannot watch it. That's what they believe. So now we are telling them, okay, Now come and watch Gambian films for free, and then you will judge for yourself.
For me, like, before we engage, Mrs. J, for me, the reason that I don't watch Gambian movies, it's the originality. You understand? I cannot watch a movie that will remind me of Nigeria. You know, Nigerian movies. I mean, I've seen a lot of youngsters that are involved in doing movies, and you know, they keep using Nigerian accent, not the Gambian accent. For me, I prefer it to be more Gambian than copying someone's style.
Okay. So what happened is we have a lot of foreigners, I call it, in the film industry. Some are from Nigeria, some are from Sierra Leone. They combine with Gambians. So you could see that Gambians can literally adapt to their language and so. But that is not the case. And also, people just, because Nigeria have been in the game for a long time before us, so whatever you produce that somehow look like a Nigerians, they tend to say that it's a Nigerian style of movie. But of course, it depicts the African style of movie. Obviously, for instance, if somebody wear beads or whatsoever, they said you're Nigerians. Even our traditional Fula culture do it. Our Jola tribe does it. Our Mandinka, Wolofs, and everybody does it. So you understand. So I understand your point, and it is important that, you know, Gambians also start telling stories about Gambians.
Correct.
You know, I remember in 2014 when I produced The Great Big Three Kingdom. Some people were telling me it looks like a Nigerian. I say, okay, that's why, maybe that is the reason why I'm not getting the Gambian audience. So in my next movie, I'm going to change it and make it a Gambian context. Now, the next movie, I produce what they call Family Dispute. And this is about Gambian family. The films.
The everyday life.
Yes, of Gambian family. And it has to do with inheritance and a lot of things. I produced that movie. When I was launching the movie at the Alliance Francaise, I tell you no lie, during the premiere, the number I have at the Big Three Kingdom was bigger, 2 times more than what I have here. Because the people, you know, actually, because that movie has some effects, you know, some, you know, those kind of effects, disappearance and coming, people love those kind of fiction things. But something that has to do in a form of a drama, it's, I think also the problem also is also the English language. We can see how best we can also sift through local languages.
I think for me that is the thing. Yeah, look at Senegal. Wolof, then could they Wolof Albemba?
And their movies are getting better every day.
They're getting better.
But you have a big role to play there in this movie industry if you want to move it.
Yes.
So we can engage.
Mustafa, the country or the role of Majak in the Banjul Film Festival.
Thank you very much. As you may know, the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication belongs to the Gambia Press Union. Where credit is due, let's give it.
Yes.
The Gambia Press Union set us up. We all are members individually, but I have been directly an employee of the Gambia Press Union working at the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication. So basically, Majak and the Banjul Film Festival had an MOU. We signed recently an MOU to foster the film industry or the advancement of the film industry forward, because Majak has 4 programs, and one of the programs is film and photography. So aside film and photography, we have communications, we have digital media and management and production. We also have journalism, which we are known for. So under the film and photography context, we've signed an MOU with the Banjul Film Festival to give the Gambians interested and non-Gambians living in the Gambia that opportunity to hone their skills in the industry. So the MOU, that's the intention of the MOU, but part of the things it covers is annually we will have what we call a master class.
Okay.
So there will be a master class. Pa will elaborate more on the master class film production that we will. We've recently made calls. The calls have closed, and we need 40. So every year we will train 40 young Gambians, film and photography skills, how to produce film. We'll do that in collaboration with the Majak will be the center for that. We've recently rolled a call and we've closed the call. Out of we need only 40, but we have 117 applied.
The demand is huge.
So as soon as we step out from here, we will be going out to do some short listing until we get the final. So the other aspect of it, we will also have annually the Banjul Film Festival, which Majak is going to assist with the human resource on our aspect. And in the training, then we will have both Majak and Banjul Film Festival personnel will take part in the training, mentorship, and the coachship So we also have those are the two we have, and we also see other ways that we can collaborate. But basically, let me say, I've heard you say a lot of the films probably pass say that it's because of what limits the Gambians' participation is because of the English language.
Yeah.
I think I can go with that. So some years ago, I traveled, I worked in an office, the Ministry of Education in the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. My French is zero. I only speak English, but what saved me was my wall of skills. And someone spoke Wolof fluently, and to my astonishment is, in Mauritania, they do, Wolof is a national language, they do news broadcast in it. So the earlier we do it, the better.
Exactly.
So that's why Majak is also thinking of introducing, local national language, journalism. So that, people who are much interested in that. So if you want to, if you speak to a man in a language that he understands, that gets to his head. But if you speak to him in a language that, in his own language, that gets to his heart. And if you get to the heart of someone, you imagine whatever you ask for, you get it. So this is basically what Majak and Banjul Film Festival are trying to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
during the theater days, we used to follow a lot of this Mandinka theater because it's so interesting. But I don't know why it suddenly dies down.
And you keep understanding what they say most of the time.
It used to be so interesting. I could see the hype. Everyone watches this theater and all of Mandinka theater and all of. But I don't know why the theater industry all of a sudden dies down. I can't still understand that.
So the theater is it does not die, in fact, because we have seen the era of TikTok. Many people are producing short films in local languages and then sending out there in the media.
But it's not like before.
Yeah, of course.
Elders, everyone sits.
Of course.
And it should be better this time because the era of social media should be able to boost all
Of course,
those
and that is why Banjul Film Festival came to make sure that we boost the industry. I mean, we're not only gonna concentrate only on dramas and fictions, but we're gonna do documentaries, documentaries that's gonna sell this country. I mean, so we know that tourism is very important, so we have to document our tourism sites to see how best we can attract more tourism in this country. Documentary is part of filmmaking. So, but some people, when you say filmmaking, they might be thinking of dramas, fiction films and likes. So, but like documentary is one aspect of it, and we are doing a mentorship. And this mentorship, we are training about 100 people. And this 100 people, this mentorship will last for 6 months. We train in schools. We have an MOU with Brufut Senior, Upper and Senior Secondary School, and we're going to train up to 20 people for 6 months. We also have MOU with University of Education Civic Chapter, which is formerly Gambia College, I think. We're going to train 20 people as well for 6 months. Also, we're going to train 20 people from Banjul City Council. We also have to train 20 people from Majak. And this will be 100 young people to be trained on hands-on skills in film and photography for 6 months.
Those that are already in the film industry or movie industry, or these are freshmen?
These are freshmen, because what we want to do is, if you want to build more accuracy, more, I don't know how to quality in the film industry, you have to start with the grass. So that is why we're targeting them, so that these people can tell real stories about Gambian. For instance, take the civic education chapter in the Gambia University of Education. These people, after their mentorship, they should be able to produce even a documentary about civic education. And this is something that will going to help this country, boost the awareness. You understand? Take about, let's say, for instance, Banjul. After their mentorship, they should be able to do a documentary about the culture that happened in Banjul. Everybody knows that in December, Banjul have a big cultural event, and that's called the Banjul Festival. And I think these are things that we need to document, and this attract tourism. We have to do that.
So the characters that we use on our movies too, they matter a lot.
Yes.
Look at the Nigerian, the Nollywood movies. I mean, they use elders, mature people. You understand? For people like me, I don't know, for some reason, I want to watch films and feel, okay, this is a film that is worth watching. I cannot come and see a small boy behaving like an elder. I want the elder himself to be on the movie.
Yes.
If you want to do a grandpa role. You need a grandpa. You don't need someone
Yes.
who paint his face.
Yes, so
it doesn't attract
yeah, so
me.
I think it's a character descriptions
Yeah.
which matters.
So I
a
think
lot.
those things do need to be
Yeah,
looked
it
at.
matters. We have some films that normally I remember my films. I have all pass in the 60s, 70s playing their roles. I mean, but you realize also not many elders want to associate themselves
Yeah,
with
because of
filmmaking.
sometimes
Yeah.
they will tell you, society, how are they going to see me? Number two, some of them will be like, okay, nyimu feyalti. You understand? That's how we see it.
And some people, the amount of money they're asking for to be part of your movie also is very expensive. You realize that producers don't afford that money. So instead, they will go for somebody who is willing to do it for free of charge. You see, somebody who is going to do it for free of charge and somebody who is going to charge you for 50,000 plus. You know, sometimes you look at your budget, you have no sponsors, you tend to go with that guy. So that's the problem. I think we need to invest in the film industry. Because one thing, if you invest in the film industry, you're helping the economy to grow. One, you're empowering the cameraman. You're empowering the editor. You're empowering the light guy. You're empowering the designer, the tailor, the makeup artist, the carpenter. You know, all those people within the production team, you are empowering them.
Right.
Everybody gets something home. So this is how you create job. I had the government saying that we're going to offer 150,000 jobs, something like that.
150,000 jobs, yes.
I think it's easy because for me, my own production house, Gamstars Movie Productions, have been training over 500 people since we found this production house in 2012. And some of these people now, I remember 2 years ago we trained 25 in digital aspects of camera handlings and editings. And these are people that will end up going and establish their own business because they are taught skills. You understand? They can go and make their own employment, make their own money. So I think government have to come. I'm telling you no lie, if government support the film industry, they can create the number of jobs that they want to.
So how much do you pay a cast? I mean, how much do you pay an individual?
Yes, so
It depends on the
yes,
movie.
so that's, it depends also on the character role.
And the role that you
exactly.
play.
Yes, it depends. It depends.
Yeah, so
Mustafa, we know that Majak, it's a hands-on institution. So these are 20 individuals that you're going to train. Which areas are you going to focus on mostly, and how are you going to go about it? Is it as part of the training, are you going to ensure that you come up with short films that are going to be featured, or how do you go about it?
Yeah, thank you very much. So the training, the 20 that Pa lately mentioned is part of a different component.
So it's not part of the MOU?
No, it's part of the that's
MOU,
part of
but different
so that
component.
they are offering, but the one we are just we're doing jointly. That is what the one we are starting with. Will train 40 Gambians, young Gambians. So at Majak,
is it those that are involved in the movie industry, or they're also fresh?
No, we have applicants. So
it's an open entry.
It's an open entry to anyone interested. So I cannot of now say who are exactly shortlisted because shortlisting has not taken place. But we need 40, and we've made an open call, and we have received 117. So this will have to filter it down to 40. Based on the various criteria in place. But coming back to how we want to train them, so we have in training, so you need a few things.
Yes.
You need to have the infrastructure, that is where you want. You need to have the equipment, you need to have trainers.
Right.
So the trainers will be from Majak. As you know, we have a fully, funds on the film and photography program, and we have trainers, some are full-time and some are part-time. And then the Banjul Film Festival also will offer some trainers who will also be part of the training. To conduct the training, we also have used Majak facilities. And then we also welcome anybody who is watching and anybody who might be listening to the radio to come on board and play a part, because this is about nation building.
It is.
So about the 150,000 jobs, I'm very curious, Julia knows. I asked one of the permanent secretaries, how do you intend to create this? And he gave a very brilliant answer. He said, where do you work? I said, I work at Majak. He said, you are part of the job because the government indirectly employ you by offering license to Majak to operate. So this is how they go about it.
I asked the minister. Minister Sise was here yesterday. And we asked him about 150,000 jobs. He said, the government is not going to create the jobs, but we are going to create the enabling environment. They are very smart.
So the environment, we say that. So because they have given us that license to operate now, we are doing our best to also enhance Gambians with skill. That will require them not to, be dependent on employment like I am doing. I am so dependent because I'm a journalist. I have to work in the news. Now that we have the online environment, I may not be required to be hired by someone if I can create my own content.
Right.
But that's what we want to go to. We want to create people or impact skills in people who may not want to work on permanent basis. Like they will be able to work even from their room. Just have a laptop, you produce a content and you upload it, or you produce a content for people and you get your income.
Right.
So this gives you a lot of, it multiplies your revenue streams. Once your revenue streams are multiplied, post with this stuff. Right. So you get the a lot of
You
multiplication.
mentioned something very important.
Revenue multiplication. I'm not saying anything.
I learned the Gambia, you don't monetize our social media.
Yeah.
It's not monetized. So I think you need to work
I
on that
think
with the
we-
government
yeah.
because I want to
Some
believe that is
channels are
what is
monetized.
restricting or
Yeah,
stopping a lot of
some
people.
channels are monetized, and even some websites are monetized. But what you need to do is you need to list with somebody that has a bank account in the US, for instance.
It's a challenge.
And sometimes getting that to link it with that, it's a big
challenge.
problem.
It's
But we have people, they have relative outsides that can do that for them. And they started making some money. You see, monetization is very important. And that is why in Nigeria and Senegal, all their films are now on YouTube now.
Going the extra
People
mile.
watch it. When they upload their films, less than 1 minute, you see 1 million views.
Millions of
And they're getting a lot of huge money from that.
Yeah, and I've seen also the Kitabu crew.
Yes.
They have done something, sort of an app, whereby you can access their films for a month and you pay sort of $100.
Yes. So that is just like Amazons and the Netflix
sort
and
of.
so.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
But Gambians, it's a problem. They rather go to YouTube, watch free movies, than go to a website, pay $100 and watch a film. And obviously, they need to help us. Kitabu and teams are doing...
They are doing wonders. Definitely.
Great job. And I think we need to support them as well. Go to their websites and support them. Watch their films.
Even if sometimes you don't want to watch the movies, but just subscribe for just for supporting.
That's right.
You know?
So
I
coming
think
back
we will get there. I think we will get there because a lot of people will want to watch this session because they know 1 or 2 people involved.
Yes.
So the same thing, when we train more Gambians and more Gambians are featured in these productions, obviously we'll have families will come forward, friends will come forward, neighbors will come forward to support.
So are you thinking of taking people like Julde? Because if Julde is in a movie today, many people would like to watch Julde. People like Jenaba Sonko, when you put them in a movie, people will like to know how their mouths will be drumming in that movie.
Yes, so yes, why not? We intend to do that. We want that. But
people
it depends on
people
whether
that
they
are at least
also
known by the
interested.
public. Sometimes you involve them in movies. We've seen the likes of 50 Cent doing movies, and those movies are going to be watched by many people.
Yes. So it's important. We need to get celebrities like
Julde.
It's very important to get them. It sells the movie very well. And some point, you can see that even musicians end up being actors at the end of their careers.
Yes.
So our duty is this. Is to entertain, educate, and inform. So we are doing the same thing. So I think it's important that we come together, collaborate. Yeah, we can do something great.
Absolutely.
And then even bring it to Kids TV, and then they
and
can
it will be
play.
featured.
Yes,
it will be featured.
So coming back to the Banjul Film Festival, when is it taking place?
Yes, so the Banjul Film Festival is a one-week something. We want to start with the masterclass, which we intend to do the 13th of this month. And then from there, we want to have a screening on the 20th at the Banjul Arch.
Of this month?
Yes, of this month. It's going to be an open day, whereas people can just come and watch Gambian films. And also the 21st, we'll launch it at the Westfield Monument and have a screening night as well, whereas Gambians can come. And also we'll have a panel that talks about the film industry, the growth and everything surrounding the industry in this country. So after that, we conclude the week, but the Banjul Festival does not conclude. Why? Because we're going to proceed with the mentorship. So this mentorship is going to be 6 months. So we'll go to schools twice in a month, train them on hands-on skills, and after that they produce short films or short documentaries. So those short films and short documentaries will be played in the next December film festivals, whereas people will know that, this is what they have learned, and now they produce something.
So finally, what do you have before we close this segment?
Yes, so I will call on the Gambians to invest in the film and photography sector. So big credit to the Ministry of Higher Education for sponsoring a whole class at Majak.
Oh, wow.
So, and then, yeah, they've sponsored a whole class, a class of 15. They have paid for them under a particular initiative. So if everyone does it, imagine you sponsor the whole class and somebody also sponsor, and each of those persons will be independent because they are empowered with skills that do not require them to walk into someone's office to seek job, rather to be job creators. So if 15 create job, at least each of them employ 10 people, 15 times 10, you're talking of, if my mathematics is good, 150 people. So if you have that, 10 of that in a year, so we will get close to the 150,000. So it's important that we all invest in this. We encourage our youngsters who are involved into what is related to film and photography to sponsor them, encourage them and support them in all the ways that is necessary so that they will become skillful persons and they will be of benefit to this nation.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Pa.
Yes, to reiterate, I will say that if young people are doing their part, I normally have this famous quote I say, if you do for self and you believe in self, impossibility does not exist.
No.
And now that young people are taking the onus to make sure that they lift up the socio-economic development of this country, I think governments and private sectors have to come and support us.
That's right.
We have the brilliant ideas. Any office you enter, they will say this is brilliant ideas. But of course, we need the support. We need the financial support. We need the human resource, everything to make it go. Thank you.
So the launching, it's on the 21st of this month
we have
at the Westfield Monument.
Yes, we have a screening also on the 20th at Banjul Arch.
Okay.
And the master
so
class
we also thank QTV
the master
for
class
inviting
as
us.
well, Majak.
Yes, the master class.
That's the right choice.
Yes.
Majak, no doubt they will
Yes,
deliver.
of course.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
Yes, viewers, so we'll take a short break. After the break, then we head to the last segment of this program. We'll be back.
In the vibrant heart of the Gambia, where life pulses with energy and connections bind us together, your number is the key that unlocks a world of possibilities. Whether you're chasing dreams, sharing passions, or simply brightening someone's day, your number matters in the symphony of our daily lives. 2 numbers connect us all. What's your number?
Man la Ami Kole, maa ngi nii Craft Market Serekunda, may jaay ay malaan, ay keyring, te suma number mooy 522 7306.
Assalamualaikum. Aha, ko katapila men fali so mi donnam nomma ma si me mi wara ma kole. Wadu 3 7 3 6 9 4
Telepon ni lañ bëggoon seen téléphone
si ngeen bëgg.
waaw Alice baa ngi nii waaw yaa booy mooy li ma la doon di waxal ndax soo passé sa grade 9 exam bi dinaa la surprise.
Papa jërëjëf papa kontaan naa papa.
mooy 507 54 45.
Jërëjëf papa kontaan naa.
man la Have Design maa ngi located Safidine man mii maay buuri ñëwkat yi dama dee ñëw birthday dress prom suma noo mooy 345 73 77.
Ndelen lana ndawo non ha Swiss baba na lafta fe ni mala na dada na no 37 805
maremu yere yani lasana bangal bitigi aswana yere nomba ke yani 3737 181 check me out
walla dawra from Tajistan wedding la de ligue dama job I bunta I frontier bi moy suma nomba bi 3855 798
man la Bamba borom cuuraay yu neex lépp lu waay soxla ci wàllu cuuraay boo ñëwee fii suma place da nga ko fekk suma number mooy 319 5188.
ha na number dia la 31 00 875 ha wala na number di hey la ilaha illallah ma sibo mane ko rosi alo konte be kibaro la hakilo be Alafa mbama ko guy transporter felentiring the only transporter in town nan kisol number mo mindi wala 3070 304 taxi cinema nan wala ñam transport
dama dopp sani yere gëm naa suma xela pan man
People are praying for themselves. Can you imagine? How can you say that? Yeah, so we are back. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Balde. Now let's head to celebrating mentorship this December. And we have the Tuma team in the studios. We have Mustafa Salah, Deputy Media and Communications Officer, Tuma. And we have Mr. Damfa as well. Mr. Damfa, this is your second time on this platform.
Thank you.
Remind us the first name.
Damfa.
Yeah, your first name.
This is Abdullah Damfa.
Abdullah Damfa, yeah.
Logistics Committee member, Tuma alumni as well. Thank you for having us.
Yes, it's good to have you here. Let's talk about Tuma itself.
Yeah, basically this is my second time here, and we've talked about Tuma in our last coming. And to give an overview of what Tuma does is that we trained and mentor individuals in different thematic areas, ranging from entrepreneurship, professional writing, advocacy, and to name a few. Established in 2022, and since its inception, we've trained and mentored about 3,000 young Gambians within the length and the breadth of this particular country. Yeah.
So, since your establishment, what impact have you made, especially on the lives of the young people?
Yeah, basically it's really important that we advocate for a very finer future for youth and children in the Gambia. Since the establishment of the association in 2022 September, we've trained about more than 3,000 Gambians, both university level, senior secondary level. And looking at our areas of delivery, we deliver in advocacy, community service per se, and areas like entrepreneurship. As of we are speaking, our team, one of our cohort as a team, it's currently in Manduar, Kiang, training local women on dukula making, as in the local porridge, training them on how to actually help them with regards to sustainable food delivery.
Yeah, so let's invite Mr. Salah here as the communication and communications and media.
Yeah, then Mr. Salah, how do you vet your mentees, and how do you go about the selection process?
Yes, thank you so very much for having me here. As you said, my name is Mustafa Salah, and I'm the Deputy Media and Communications of Tuma. I think this is my first time coming to QTV, and I'm so glad to join you guys here.
Wow, we are happy to have you.
Yes, so regarding the criteria for selecting of mentees, we normally open applications on January, because our mentorship program is an year-based mentorship program. So applications are normally open on January. When we open applications, we have coordinating team members. So those coordinating team members plus the executives would come together a fine day that will meet at a very confined venue. Then we select the mentees. So in selecting the mentees, we don't know whether Abdullah has applied or Fatu has applied. When we are selecting, we select based on the criteria that we place in the selection process. And we normally target senior school and tertiary institutions. Yeah.
So how about underdeserved and rural, those young people who are from the rural Gambia? Are you catering for them as well?
Yes, of course. So basically, since the inception of Tuma in 2022, our mentorship program was solely focused in the urban area here, ranging from Banjul, KM, and West Coast. But then we came together as a team, because people like me, I'm from the rural Gambia, Abdullah too is from the rural Gambia. We said, you know, before we just stop here in the urban area, why not we reach out to rural Gambia as well? That is when we came up with the idea of the Tuma regional tour. So in this regional tour, it happened last month. We targeted all the regions in the Gambia. We started from NBR, Karawan, where we have school outreach and community outreach. In each region, we have a school outreach and community outreach. And in each region, we try to train 100 students. We as well reach to communities in which we donated dustbins to communities, as well as we partnered with the Gambia Immigration Department, where they were handling the citizenship and irregular migration part to, you know, make people aware about citizenship and as well as to stop the irregular migration journey. So we have been impacting the lives and the livelihood of every region or every corner in the Gambia.
Mr. Damfa, I mean, who've been supporting Tuma? Let's talk about the support of Tuma.
Literally, when you talk about that in the Gambia, it's always a challenging.
Oh, even you?
Yes, it's a challenge to us as well.
Okay.
Considering the fact that it's a youth-led organization, non-profit, it is always challenging, especially in the aspects of finance. Literally, talking about our regional tour, we faced a lot of challenges, but through a sponsor work and generous donations from the Gambia Army Forces and Gambia Immigration Department specifically, who sponsored our transportation, it was really a success, I believe. But overall, from our mentorship activities, both indoor and outdoor, finance has been a problem. And we've been really getting the funding from our membership subscriptions. For example, when we do the selection, after the selection of mentees, each is obliged to pay a subscription of 500. So it is just through that we managed to conduct an year-long program from January to December. And that is where we are heading to the graduation on the 29th of this month.
So the membership subscription, is it the mentees who are your members, or anyone can be a member of Tuma?
Not necessarily the mentees, basically. Okay. Through the selection, like Mustafa said, we don't actually know who we are selecting. We upon applications and we give it based on the needy. Literally, for example, with regards to communication, we train people on public speaking. If the question asked that if you have any weaknesses and you believe you don't have weaknesses, I don't think it's necessary for you to be trained on any related area with regards to our activities. But if the individual claims that he or she has weaknesses from public speaking, communication, entrepreneurship, or has any interest in any of the areas that we do, literally, those are some of the things that we consider and select an individual. But upon selection, shortlisting, and final selection, we are told they are obliged to pay a fine of 500, which takes us through
for the whole year
program. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, 500 for the whole year.
For the whole year.
So regarding the
is it hands-on?
Both.
Okay.
Regarding the funding, we normally get our funding from the subscription, like Abdullah said few seconds or few minutes back, because when we open applications, for example, this cohort, this is our third cohort. We have first cohort. I was lucky to be part of the first cohort, and Abdullah was part of the second cohort, while this cohort is our third cohort. So
what were you trained on?
Yeah, I was trained on different thematic areas, ranging from public speaking, personal branding, ethical leadership, peace and justice, and many other thematic areas. Yeah. So regarding the subscription, this year we have 150 people that were shortlisted, but then because we also have graduation requirement. So the people that are shortlisted, we're going to contact them, and when we contact them, we'll tell them that they have been shortlisted, and the subscription fee is $500. So that is what they pay, and when they pay that, that is where we're going to buy water and even provide food for them during sessions. That means the same 500 they paid, that is the same 500 that will be used on them. In fact, their certificates also would be printed using that same 500.
Money. Okay.
So to say, we don't have much funding. Where we normally get the funding most is from the subscription.
Do we organize fundraising events?
Yeah, for this year, of course, we organized a fundraising event not long ago. We had a retreat where we entitled it From Cohorts to Communities. We invited the alumni as well as mentees and as well as other individuals as well. So from there, that was our first fundraising event.
So let's head to the graduation. Tell us about it.
Yeah, the graduation is about celebration, and not just celebration, but empowering individuals who have dedicated a whole year of their time serving communities and making sure that they learn every theory they implement every theory that has been explained to them in the four corners of the classroom. It is on the 29th of this December at the law faculty, Kanifing. And there we would not just celebrate individuals who have dedicated a whole year to mentorship, but community service as well. TUMA, we don't just give certificates. In fact, he said 150 students were shortlisted, but about 81 of them are making it to the graduation, not because probably we are strict in everything that we do, but we want to make sure that we prepare individuals who are ethical, and ethical in the sense that they deserve a certificate.
So,
correctly.
okay, let me get this right.
Yeah.
Those people that dropped out, was it you or they decided just to drop out of the program?
Not necessarily, it wasn't us. If
they decided to drop out of the
not
program.
necessarily as well. It's based on requirements. For example, in our attendance requirement, we are not supposed to miss at least 3 sessions.
Okay.
Imagine we have a range of sessions from each month.
How often do you engage them?
Every Saturday of a month.
Okay.
So literally missing 3 days, 3 sessions within 12 months, it is not actually much, but we feel like it is something that is undeserving of a certificate. And based on other requirements, like some of the extra commitments that we need to show from a particular mentee, if it is lacking, obviously you're expunged, and it leads to those individuals.
No certification.
Yeah.
So any other thing you would like to share before we close this segment?
Challenges.
Yes, I would like to say that TUMA, we not just focus on the mentorship part, because the mentorship, it's a year-long mentorship program, but we also have community service, and we also have school outreach programs. So in these school outreach programs, we normally go to schools, or schools normally invite us, where our coordinating team members would go and facilitate these school outreach programs. As well as now we have a TUMA regional tour that we started this year, in which we aim to continue every year, so that at the end of the day, the people in the rural communities as well are going to benefit from it. So my last words is just to say to the young people out there, let them learn, and as well as if they want to grow, let them make sure they join mentorship. Because I'll take a reference of myself. The main reason why I am where I am today is because of mentorship. Then I could barely sit down and talk to people. Then I could barely, in fact, do a lot of things. But because of mentorship, now I could talk anywhere I want, and as well as I have as well some of the qualities that other individuals I was looking up to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I am urging all the young people out there to take the path of mentorship, because through mentorship you'll be guided, and through mentorship you'll be able to make sure you have informed decisions that you can make by yourself. No other person out there would make it for you. Because there's this individual, the former president of the Geographic Students Association, Mr. Malang Jai, he is my close friend. He told me, as an individual, you win twice in life. That is, you win first in your mindset, through your thoughts, and second in reality.
Wow.
So through that,
that's a powerful one.
Yeah, it's definitely a very powerful one.
Yeah.
So that inspired me. That is why I want to tell all the young people out there to take the path of mentorship, so that they will be guided, and at the end of the day, they will also know the path they want to pursue in their future.
Thank you.
So
Again,
finally,
yes.
Okay.
I invite you all, QTV, your management, and as well as all the people that are watching us, to join us on the 27th of December, as Abdullah said, at the law faculty for our graduation ceremony. For our
so Abdullah, what
Yeah.
concrete changes are we expecting before the next cycle, mentorship cycle?
Our expectations are that with our slogan, advancing a better future for young Gambians, we hope to see a pool of leaders who will be ethical, and with our commitment, we will hope that we expand our commitments from the urban base to the rural. Referencing from our Tuma regional tour, there is a gap, that kind of a disparity between urban individuals and the rural individuals. And without much ado, I'll also thank the Director General of Gambia Immigration Department, Gambia Armed Forces, for their commitment towards mentorship and ensuring that we had a successful Tuma regional tour. And to the young Gambians, like Mustafa alluded, it is really important that we seek mentorship. Without guidance, we are nothing. There is nothing like a perfect individual. We grow each day. So with this, I would draw the curtain here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Damfa. Thank you, Mr. Sala, for honoring our invitation to come on the program. Julde Njai, this is all we have today.
Yes, until we come your way tomorrow for another edition of QTV This Morning.
Until then,